Superintendents, factory managers, and governmental bodies. DeWittDailyNews.com and the Miller Media Group are making it easier for you to notify our readers and listeners about your school closings, cancellations, and notifications. Click on the event delay enrollment icon on our DeWitt Daily News blue menu bar. Find your entity, put your email address in along with a secret password only you will know, and hit submit. Go there to submit your closing or cancellation anytime, 24/7. It's that easy. Sign up now by clicking the event delay enrollment icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Get WHOW programming live or on demand right there on your desktop, tablet, iPhone, or smartphone when you want it 24 hours a day. Just go to DeWittDailyNews.com. If you want to listen to live WHOW programming, just click the Listen Live icon. And if you want to hear one of your favorite WHOW programs when you want to, just click on the Audio on Demand icon. WHOW programming is there when you want it. Just another service from the big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW.
10 minutes after 7 o'clock is news time on the WHOW Morning Show. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agents in Clinton. The DeWitt, Macon, and Piatt County Fairs will also be a junior county fair for the first time this year. DeWitt County 4-H Fair Board President Dan Enos indicates they received money from the state of Illinois Department of Agriculture to give back to exhibitors who participated. Unlike other junior shows, though, this is exclusively for residents of the three counties.
Fair Board for the past 3 years have been working to make this also a junior show along with the 4-H show, which we get state money to give the kids for their projects if they so desire to also enter into the junior show. It is a little different kind of a junior show than most of you may know of a county fair. This is a closed to Piatt, Macon, and DeWitt residents only, or if you've joined one of the 4-H clubs in this three counties, you may participate. There is an entry fee, but the state does give us money like any county fair to give back to the kids. So most of the kids, for every $5 they give me to enter, they're going to go home with a lot of more than that to really make it worth their while of all the work that they put into their projects.
Enos notes this was a 3-year process in the making due to the legislative process that requires a bill to be signed by the governor. He says although any project is potentially eligible, only livestock this year will participate.
Yes, this is the very first year. We've been working on it for 3 years with the Department of Ag. A lot of paperwork, clear through to it has to be a bill signed by the governor. So it takes a lot of paperwork, and going through legislation, as most of you know, takes a while. All projects can. This is our first year. Some of the superintendents, there is work they have to do. Some superintendents don't totally understand. Most of the livestock do because they go to county fairs all the time, all summer long, and they understand how it works. So the horses, poultry, beef, goats, sheep, and swine are the only ones that want to do it this year, but it can be all projects. As long as the superintendent wants to do the work, the first year you do have to raise the money you're giving out till the state reimburses you, which a lot of times takes a year. So the first year, you got to do some fundraising to raise the money and to pay the kids that year. But it is some work, and some of the superintendents like, I don't know if I want to do the work. A lot of them don't understand it if you don't go to county fairs and understand what's going on for the project. But yeah, everything can be in this next year if they want to.
Enos notes at this past weekend's 4-H horse show, entries were up from previous years, with exhibitors enrolling in more classes thanks to that monetary incentive.
Well, you just had to prove that you're here for more than a 20-year lease, which we are. We've been here since 1954, leasing the grounds from the DeWitt County Farm Bureau, and they're on board with this too. But everybody here at the Department of Ag has been working with us. Everybody's really wanting this to go, and we're hoping it does. I can see today that the entries are up. A lot of the classes kids never usually tried at the 4-H because they're not real good, but now they're saying, hey, I might as well try it, and also because I entered then in the junior show to earn some money and worth there I'm trying. Now the junior show you enter at check-in. So if you have beef, swine, poultry, sheep, or goats, You will sign up when you check your animals in for 4-H. There'll be a superintendent there ready, and paperwork you got to fill out again, and an entry fee, and they're different for the different ones. The payback is in your 4-H book. If you look clear in the back, you already know how much you're going to get paid for the placings, and the entry fee's in there.
The deadline for enlisting in the Livestock Junior Show is Friday, July 8th. That Livestock Junior Show is at 5:30 till 6:30. Then Saturday, July 9th from 8 a.m. until noon. The Next Gen 911 has been on the radar of first responding administrators for several years, and a request by DeWitt County's 911 director will help usher in that change. At the June DeWitt County Board meeting, DeWitt County CENCOM Director Tony Harris requested replacements for the 3 consoles that 911 dispatchers use. He explains there is a console currently that does not work well, but in addition to that, they're using those 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and have been doing so since they were installed in 2014.
I'm asking to replace the 3 consoles that are currently in dispatch. It's the 911 consoles. There's 3 of them. They're 8 years old. We replaced those in 2014. It's time to replace them because several different reasons. First off, the dispatch center is staffed 24 hours a day by 2 dispatchers, 7 days a week. So those consoles are manned that entire time. So those consoles that are 8 years old, that someone has sat there for 8 years. And we are having issues with them. There's one little piece where the keyboard sits that occasionally during a call, when the dispatcher goes to type the call, it falls down and the keyboard falls in their lap. So we are having some issues with those. I started looking here a couple of months ago at different consoles, and I was asked to basically about the ergonomics. The consoles that we have now, you can't stand with those. Dispatcher that's just coming back after having back surgery. And it was asked that we would look at the consoles where we could give them the ability to stand if they want to stand during their 12-hour shift. So that was one reason.
As mentioned, according to Harris, the Next Gen 911 is going to require a lot more equipment, and this will allow them space for all that equipment.
Another reason is we're gearing up for a next generation 911, which is going to totally revamp the 911 system, which is going to bring more equipment. And when I say more equipment, that's going to be more equipment that's going to have to be set under the consoles or on top of the console surface. Right now, there's not a whole lot of room. It's pretty packed in there. That's going to give us more room to put the extra screens we might need, phones, things like that. Cable management, we have an issue behind the console where there's just cables just hanging, and this will take care of the hanging cables. I got a call a couple months ago, dispatcher that got his foot tangled up in one of the cables and pulled it loose, and it pulled some of the equipment down and took down a phone system that we had to repair. So that needs to be taken care of. So those are the reason why I'm asking for this to be done. And the time frame is pretty quick because of the issues with the keyboards falling down, and come fall, that's when we're going to start moving the entire system over to next generation 911. I would like that all to come together at the same time.
As mentioned a few weeks ago on regional radio following the June meeting, Harris's request turned into another debate on the American Rescue Plan Act funds. Sheriff Mike Walker, though, emphasized the importance of this request for the department.
Something else Tony hasn't brought up with this too, that a lot of people don't understand, is we're back up to other 911 centers who are in response, turn around, we back them up, they back us up. So if we don't have the equipment to do that, then there's a possibility we could lose our backups. So these things are important, and like Dan mentioned, I got something I'm probably gonna bring next month that goes right along with this as far as our radio system. Things like that. Aaron talks about life safety stuff. This is definitely a life safety thing, because you get in the middle, you get a dispatcher in the middle of typing in a heart attack or a bad accident on 51, and that keyboard drops down, and for some reason it deletes all the information or cuts off that 911 caller. You're taking a lot of time to get that process started all over again.
When the equipment gets installed, there is a meeting room adjacent to the 911 dispatcher's room where equipment will be transferred to temporarily. Harris says the Next Gen 911 could be in DeWitt County as soon as this fall. Perhaps you found as you're getting older, you cannot exercise at the level you once could, but want to maintain an active lifestyle. A clinical pharmacist and director of the Pro Football Hall of Fame's Performance Health Program has some ideas for you. Dr. Jim Lavelle, the author of Cracking the Metabolic Code, says as you get older, you'll want to start taking in more protein.
But, you don't have to be over the top with it. It's just a matter of, it is good to get some weight-bearing exercise over the age of 55. So one of the things is to, you can go to the local Y, to the local community center that's doing these types of programs and try to enroll and get into any type of weight-bearing exercise. And it doesn't have to even be for long periods of time. 20 to 30 minutes even 3 times a week with weights and people over the age of 55 could be really beneficial. Now, that's just one component of it, because then you have the fact that, once you get over 55, your protein demands actually go up if you're wanting to have improved longevity. So they have shown that once you get to age 60, you gotta get that protein level up. And, it's a big challenge for a lot of people because, you tend to not eat as much and you don't want to cook, but you got to get that protein up. There's a couple really great, there's a drink coming out, I think, that's really interesting called Rejuvenate, which is a drink that was kind of designed for people over the age of 55 to help with their sarcopenia. It's got really great studies behind it. So if you're not going to do that, do a protein drink, eat a little more chicken or fish or turkey, however you want to do it, but you got to get the protein in. That's going to help keep your muscle mass, especially if you're moving.
Dr. Lavelle gives props to the DeWitt County Friendship Center for its senior yoga classes because that is an essential part of maintaining balance as we get older.
You talked about you got yoga classes for the 55 plus crowd at one of your local centers, right? So why is that important? It's maintaining your flexibility. So maintaining your flexibility, or what I like to call your stability, your balance, is incredibly important because if you think about it, the perfect storm. So, as we age, our brain isn't as good at telling our body what to do. Oh, I'm going to step on this step. Oops, I fell. And this is one of the big, big concerns as people get into their senior years, as you start moving into your 70s, not so much 55 to 70. However, I've had 2 or 3 people in that age group that have bad falls and, broke a hip. They cracked a hip, they, broke a radial head on their arm. So it can happen, but the bottom line is, the more you exercise and the more you do things like yoga, you keep your brain connected to your body. That sounds kind of strange, but your brain is the command center telling all of your functions in your body what to do, including how to move your muscles, when and where, and how to step. Because one of the biggest things that happens as people age is, if they have a fall and they hit their head, a big, big leading cause of accelerating dementia. So it's important to think about, well, how am I going to maintenance myself when I'm, 55 and over? And you know what? If you enjoy riding bikes, ride bikes. If you, enjoy taking walks, take walks. But it's important that you have a strategy and a plan as how you're going to maintenance your health.
Eating well is also a good way to preserve bones as we age. Dr. Lavelle says getting plenty of vegetables goes a long way. He says metabolic inflammation is caused by poor eating habits and triggers a lot of damage to our bodies.
And so, eating well is the other piece. Making sure you're getting plenty of vegetables. Vegetables help build bones. And that sounds weird, but, they used to feed gladiators actually vegetable gruel. They would basically cook down vegetables and feed them it because it was rich in a mineral called strontium. And strontium actually makes your bones very hard. So eating vegetables, really a good idea.
Yeah.
Taking a vitamin or mineral like with magnesium and calcium and getting your vitamin D levels checked, really good idea. I wish we just taught people how to eat healthy at younger and younger ages, but the bottom line is the big things that affect people as we're aging, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, right? 2 of the big ones, right? Being obese. 42% of Americans are obese right now. So you have to realize that those 2 conditions are leading causes of death, and more importantly, they trigger a lot of metabolic inflammation in your body. When you have metabolic inflammation or metaflammation, it leads to another situation called inflammaging or inflammatory aging. So when you're eating foods that is triggering a lot of insulin and making your blood sugar go up, and you're making non-active lipids, you're triggering that inflammatory process. You're just turning on switches and say, hey, let's start creating damage everywhere. And so eating, I try to get people, just try to get a minimum, try to get 7 servings of vegetables a day.
Dr. Lavelle says not only does maintaining a good diet help with your physical health, but if you get plenty of sleep, keep your blood sugar down, and manage stress, it will also help maintain your memory. It's 24 minutes after the hour. Plenty more to get to here on the WHOW Morning Show.
Having a hard time finding the correct new car, truck, SUV, or crossover to fit your needs? This is Scott Baum from Bob Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. Some lots look low on inventory, so go to our website, look at our pre-order and reserve tab. You'll see inventory in transit, which are built and on their way to Clinton, and in production, new Chevys and Buicks, which are being built and will arrive soon. Or you can always call our sales team. They can help you find the correct one just for you. BombChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
25 minutes after the hour here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. In the aftermath of the mass shooting in Highland Park yesterday, Governor J.B. Pritzker says it could have been much worse if police did not respond quickly and bravely. Governor Pritzker says the Monday shooting will change forever how a community remembers July 4th celebrations.
There are no words for the kind of evil that shows up at a public celebration of freedom, hides on a roof, and shoots innocent people with an assault rifle. There are no words I can offer to lessen the pain of those families who will no longer associate the 4th of July with celebration, but instead with grief.
The gunman shot and killed 6 people while wounding at least 36. The shooter was apprehended by local authorities and Illinois State Police hours after the shooting. A variety of products contain some form of soybeans, including items you may have never considered. Rod Bain has more.
Perhaps you have seen them at your local shoe store, retailer, or online. A model made by shoe manufacturer Skechers with the Goodyear logo on it. The tire manufacturer also makes outsoles for shoes, like the performance outsoles found on certain Skechers. Yet before you make the assumption that the outsole is made solely from rubber, Belinda Burrier says you might be surprised to know
the sole of the shoe is made with soybean oil.
Burrier is with the United Soybean Board, and she explains that in partnership developed between Skechers and Goodyear, along with USB 2 years ago.
That's how they came up with this compound for the soy sole of the shoe.
Soybean oil replaces conventional petroleum-based oil as the polymer within this rubber compound.
It gives it more pliability, better traction, and it's lightweight.
As mentioned earlier, these shoes are available to consumers both online and through various retail stores across the country. And Burrier points out this is but the latest example of the versatility of soybeans, both as an oil and meal, as an ingredient or additive in products. On the edible side, you may come across a non-dairy coffee creamer or barbecue sauce with soybean in some form. Yet among products that are non-edible, soybean oil or meal can be found in
tires, it's in shoes, it's a compound in asphalt, it's in concrete protector, shampoo bases, insulation in your walls and in your seats in your vehicles. So you sit on it, you wear it, you eat it, you shampoo with it, it's everywhere.
These products and more have come from the research and marketing within the United Soybean Board, one of several commodity-based producer-sponsored checkoff programs under the oversight of the Agriculture Department. Burrier explains how these efforts are of economic importance to bean growers.
An increased bottom line added value to the American farmer is a lot of the farmers will get a premium per bushel on the sale of their soybeans. So that adds to the bottom line on the farm. And people are so happy to be able to add just another little niche with soy being a renewable source. It's definitely something out there that we can use, and the farmer has the advantage of growing it.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
29 minutes after the hour here on this Tuesday morning. Again, coverage of news brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. And the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.